a tesseract. However, by seeing this image you cannot claim that you experienced the fourth dimension, because it is represented in our three-dimensional universe, with two-dimensional beings living on it. They can only move on two axes. Now imagine that you take your hand, and pass it through their world. As their line of sight is only a one-dimensional line, as your hand progresses through their world, they will see the tip of your fingers appearing, then the rest of your hand slowly coming in. They would constantly see only an infinitely small division of your hand, corresponding to their one-dimensional line of sight. Those beings would think of your hand as a shape-changing two-dimensional object. Just as an MRI scan views your brain. Now imagine that someone from the fourth dimension comes to our three-dimensional space, and puts his hand through. Let's say it's not a hand, but a tesseract. As it would pass through our 3D space, we would see it shape-changing, just like our hand did, but in a different way. It gets even more awesome if we consider that time is the fourth dimension. Then, the 4D object would be able to control his time. If he were a living being, he could change his age at will, just as we could move our hand through the two-dimensional world. Says that our universe is made up of 3 spatial dimensions that we are all familiar with, 1 time dimension, and 6 more small spatial dimensions. According to the string theory, these 6 additional dimensions would have very interesting properties. If we count the 4th dimension being the time, then the 5th dimension would allow us to travel through all the parallel universes that had the same initial coordinates as ours. The 6th one would allow us to travel in time in any of those universes. In the 7th dimension you could travel to any possible world, no matter of their initial coordinates. In the 8th we could travel in time in all those universes. In the 9th dimension, we can compare all the possible universe histories, starting with all the different possible laws of physics and initial conditions. In the 10th and final dimension, we arrive at the point in which everything possible and imaginable is covered. Beyond this, nothing can be imagined by you, mortals. The same thing goes for the other 6 spatial dimensions in our universe. They are on such a small scale, that they are indistinguishable from the normal 3 dimensions. These extra dimensions can be represented in form of a Calabi-Yau manifold. I don't know what the f is this, don't ask me to explain it. But again, why don't we simply take a microscope and observe them? As I said, they appear on a very small scale, called the Planck scale, and we are not able to look so deep in the fabric of the space. So yeah, if the existence of the 11 dimensions turns out to be true, we would be able to build wormholes, black holes, and meet God.